Vicki. Welcome to my channel and another edition of Tasting the States. And today's state is Missouri, which, where I'm from in Arkansas, they say Missouri. People know it as the Show Me State, but that apparently is not an official name. The official is something in another language, which translates to let the welfare of the people be the supreme law. So let's get started. So what I chose for Missouri is called the Slinger, or also called the St. Louis Slinger, because that's where it originated. And it's basically something that you would eat after partying all night long. A late night, that's just water though. After a late night out, something to eat like at 2 in the morning, a semi-breakfasty sort of almost kind of thing, to absorb the alcohol and to hopefully not have a hangover. Some people call it hangover foods, that sort of thing. But anyway, so with that in mind, when I researched recipes, I discovered they're a little less of a recipe and more of a process. You can make a gourmet version or a very homemade, very fresh version where you grate your own potatoes, you chop your own meat to make a ground beef. You can do all that, make your own chili, you can do all of that. But you can also buy beef patties, buy hash browns frozen, and buy, what was the other thing? Hash browns frozen. Oh, chili in a can. Oh, I always forget something out here. If that's what it is, I'll be right back. Okay, got my chili. So I think that the more convenience version would make much more sense for the type of food it is. It's usually served in a diner, a diner that's open all night or late night or early morning. I don't know, or if you make it at home, you're not going to do all that if you're like battling a hangover. So it looks a little heavy. I'll be honest, but let's just get started and I'll show you the ingredients that I've pulled together. All right, so I have some frozen potatoes. I've never worked with these before. I don't know if they're supposed to feel all wet like that. I have some spices. I have garlic salt, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. And in here I have some, I call them hamburger patties, ground beef patties, I guess is what they technically are. I have some chili, the only kind that my grocery store had, really. I have some cheese, although I think, I'm not a fan of sour cream myself, but I think if you are, that you might want that on top with or without the cheese. I have onions. Now the recipe calls for chopped white onions. I can't, Jerry and I, neither one can really hardly eat raw onions like that, but I can do a little better with these kind of onions, with green onions. Plus, I can chop up a little bit of the tips and use them as a garnish. And you're going to need eggs. And it is traditionally served with toast. So I got it's called old-fashioned bread. I just got a very plain Jane bread because it doesn't seem like it would have anything fancy. I had olive oil that I sprayed in my griddle pan, whatever it is, the one with the stripes, for cooking the hamburgers. Or hamburger patties. I have some peanut oil for frying the potatoes and bacon grease for frying eggs. They are traditionally made sunny side up. I don't really know how to make sunny side up. I'm good with over easy, so that's what we're going to do. Either way, even with if you do a nice light over easy, I can still make it where we'll have a lava of the yolk. So let's get started. Now, if I wasn't making this video, I would make it all at one time. Easy peasy. I don't think this is difficult to make at all. And that's another reason I went for the easy way, in case someone wants to try this out. Why not go easy? And it wasn't that expensive, really. But because I'm going to film it, I'll probably start one, then another. And anyway, you know what I mean. I can't just be a short order cook because I got to worry about a camera. So anyway, to the stove. Okay, hubby and I are not real salt lovers, so I'm just going to use mostly garlic powder and just a tinge of garlic salt. I'll just show you how I'm doing one of them. Some onion powder and some paprika, smoked paprika. Although, I better get some pepper because my hubby likes pepper a lot. So do I, actually. So that would be what we would do on that side. I'm going to go ahead and put these in just a little bit cold still yet on the grill. I normally wouldn't do that. I'd let it get to full speed. But for filming, you know. And when we get them in there, we can, after this side, we can flip them. I'm sorry, not flip them over. What am I saying? They are flipped over. The side that I seasoned is the down side. There we go. I have a third one I'm going to make for someone, but I'm going to do that separate from R2 just to save a little bit on time. Okay. So I have them between medium and high. You can see in my pan. I love this pan. I use it a lot. See, it has the griddle things. I use it for all kinds of stuff. It makes a great steak. Great steak. All right, so while this side is coming to temp, I'm going to season this side. And this is why I went ahead and put it in where it wasn't all the way up to speed like I normally do. It's so that I could do this without anything coming at me. There's like a lot of seasoning, but there's a lot of ingredients here, so I wanted, with the bottom one being potatoes, I kind of wanted to get this going. So I'm going to get this nice and seasoned. So I am going to get this just started, and then I'm going to work on the potatoes. Now, I have never used frozen potatoes before, so the instructions on the potatoes is to have about 2 tablespoons of oil in here. This is my big burner. I'll make the eggs after all this is ready. And the potatoes, from what I've seen, normally are like in a patty like this, maybe a little bigger than your hamburger. And I don't think it's going to work. I think I'm going to have to make one big one and then cut it. So, yeah, once this starts cooking, you don't always hear me as well. So, anyway, I'm going to go work on getting water out of the potatoes and figuring out how you use frozen potatoes, and then I'll be back and we'll do that. Okay, this is smelling pretty yummy. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these. And I have my potatoes in here. I squished them with my hands and then I put them in this and squished them. They're very wet. Did not know that about potatoes and frozen potatoes. Okay, so what I've done is I have over here turned the heat down on this to between medium and low, maybe a little more toward medium, and put a lid on it. And I'll just let them cook in there. So I'm just cooking them to make sure that they're done. And I have turned on the heat here with my oil, and I'm just waiting for it to get warm. It might be warm enough. It kind of looks like it. It gets that look. You know what I'm talking about? But I don't want to make a mistake on these because I don't think these would be good if they went into cold oil. I think that would be a bad thing. So I hope I am cooking enough. Whoops. I hit the thing. Oh, I forgot I got my chili too. I'll do that in a minute. And I got to chop an onion. Lots to do. Okay, so I don't really know how to make these stick into one big thing, one big like patty, so, or 2 big patties. I don't really know how hash browns are done like this. They were really, really wet, I can tell you that. I mean, tons of water out of them. I don't like the smell necessarily. They smell to me, for lack of a better term, and those of you who cook probably know what describing, but they smell like green potatoes to me, where they're not all the way ripened or something. You know that sometimes potatoes get that. Okay, I'm just gonna push down on them because I don't know what else to do. All right, put garlic salt on them. Pretty much I'm just gonna repeat the same spices, I guess, the same seasonings, I should say. Yeah. But it's only gonna be on the one side, of course, because, oh yeah, I guess I am putting this. Now I saw people on YouTube actually like flip them like an omelet or something. But okay, I would expect that I would see the edges starting to get brown. It would be about the time you would normally turn a smaller patty or scramble them. But I'm not going to scramble them. Oh, the bacon grease in the pan behind is melting from the heat coming off of this one. This is the big burner. So let's. All right, I am going to take you with me for the chili. All I did was open 2 cans, so this is a kind of a no-brainer process. 2 cans of, what do I have? Hormel chunky beef with beans. They had like, I don't know, 6 types of Hormel maybe, and that was really about it. I was surprised Publix didn't have their own brand, and maybe I was in the wrong place, I don't know. But come on out. It's not coming out. It's very, very thick. They definitely made it with chili with meat though, which seems a little redundant since there's a hamburger in there, but in the dish. But hey, I'm going to make it the way I saw it made. I got this to cover in case there was something coming out. It doesn't look like they really do that. In fact, I'm almost thinking of maybe something to cover it just to let it cook through like I did the hamburger. In fact, let's check on that hamburger right now. Yes, okay, so I don't see any more pink coming out of there. And they've shrunk up a bit. So I'm just going to kind of turn them on a low temperature and let them just do their thing. I've got chili back here in the pan that hasn't done anything yet. I have a prop for holding up my camera. And I think I'm going to need just a spoon for stirring chili. Oh wow, this gas stove makes the sides of these Revere-ware pans get hot. So like the first thing that heats up is the sides. Boy, does that smell good. I'm really hungry. I haven't eaten today, so. So I'm not seeing browning on the edge of this yet, but I'm going to see if I can lift. Oh wait, I see just a tiny bit. Oh yeah, I can see that. See what it looks like under there. Very light, barely. I'm going to leave it longer. I want it to get kind of crusty. Yeah, don't let my inexperience with frozen potato products scare you away. I think that you can also get them where they're, get this out off of there. It's heating kind of unevenly here. I think you can get them where there's patties, but all I saw were like this shape or whatever, and I think you're supposed to kind of deep fry them. So this just seemed more in line with diner potatoes where they put a bunch down. Yeah, this isn't going to be pretty. It's not an aesthetically pleasing kind of dish from what I've seen. But it does have a lot of texture and a lot of taste. And apparently is wonderful when you've had a night of drinking. A night out on the town. I think I'm going to switch burners here and just move these to the back. What did I do with that? Here it is. That's another thing about a gas stove is that it gets the handles really warm. So I always have to have something to move my pots and pans with. All right, so chili to the front because we're working on that, and this. All right, I'll get back with you when this is more done. Okay, well, I forgot, I still have to do this, don't I? Okay, let's just cut off those pieces, the ends. This makes some pretty garnish. I mentioned before, it does call for chopped white onion and cheese, a shredded cheese on the top, very much like if you had chili, how a diner would do. But unfortunately, that just isn't going to work for us. So we're going to go with a green onion, a little bit milder. Just slit that there. I like green onion though. And then I'm cutting the green onion in half so that the pieces are even smaller. Don't worry, I know it looks like I'm chopping the wrong way, but I have really long fingernails. So I just use them to gauge distance when I chop. So we got that, and we got that. Okay, my tripod's being a little mean right now, so I've decided to try something. Oops, might turn this chili down, huh? Just a little bit. I'm going to try something. Ow! Yeah, the handle's hot. Oops, that had the potato. I just made a mess on my newly vacuumed floors. Okay, I'm going to try something. I'm going to first see if I can loosen this around the edges. Yes! Ooh, it's like one big piece. However, I know better than to try to flip something. Okay, which wrist is stronger? Neither one. So I'm going to do this. Ah! Here goes nothing. Let's see. I can't really get it on camera because I don't put it in front of the... Ooh. Yeah, it's a little hot on the bottom, a little burnty. So let's turn the heat down. And let's put some more oil in there. Instead of peanut oil, I think I'm going to put olive oil. Yeah. Those are kind of ugly. I'm going to admit it. Those are kind of ugly hash browns. But I don't think that's going to impact the flavor because they're not that kind of burnt. But they're not just like golden brown. They're a mess. I think maybe it wanted more oil than what I put in there. It said 2 tablespoons. Ooh, boy, look at that oil, just that steam coming from it. I'm gonna let that cool off a minute so the other side doesn't have blackened. It's not terrible, but I want to take just an edge piece off of here and see. Tastes good. Oh, hey, I think that's what matters, right? Yeah, I'm gonna move you off of there for a minute. You're way too hot. I turn this down to medium. I might turn it just a little below medium. Chili is good. I tasted it. Did I tell you that already? It's a little quick taste of it. And yeah, it was good. Okay. Let's try getting these. Oh, wait. Okay. So I should be able to just slide this back in, right? 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 Oh, there we go. I need some confirmation, folks. Okay, I just ate a little piece that fell off. That was just the white on the underside. It tastes fine. All right. Traditionally served with toast, so that's what we're doing. All right, so let's, nope, handle too hot. It looks wet or something there. I don't know. Maybe that's just how frozen potatoes work. Oh, it looks really beautiful on the side. Oh, broke it. Okay, so I am going to turn this off. I think off. And just let it sit here. And yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I'll go on to making eggs. All right, let's start to assemble this. There we go, that's better. All right, so it starts with potatoes, and I had a hard time cutting them out and making them look pretty, so it's not going to be. And then the hamburger patty. And then I just don't want the chili to drip everywhere. Ooh, yeah. And definitely, oh, it dripped it. Everybody who made it did a pretty generous amount of chili. I think it's kind of the star of the show. They just slopped on everything. Oh, wait a minute. The egg was supposed to go under the chili. That's okay. We'll make the second one, and we'll make that one correct. All right, let's go get the potato. This is kind of the burnty part, but we'll take it. Yeah, there we go. And we will put this hamburger patty right on top of it. There we go. Then we'll go back over here. And we will put our eggs. Where's my eggs? Okay, I'm just gonna try to slide them out of the pan maybe. Nope. Oh no, one of the yolks broke and all of that. They were cooked perfectly, but one of the egg yolks did fall. Just a little, there we go, okay. All right, that's how it's supposed to be. And then chili on top. Coming in with the chili. There we go. That just looks like a big old mess, doesn't it? But next is the cheese. Actually, next is the white onion, come to think of it. Which we don't have, but we have the white part of a green onion. Then the cheese. Think diner now, diner food, okay? Not. Okay. And then some of the green on the top. So that's our dish. Hearty. All right, I'm gonna go make another one. And Jerry will eat his, and I will try one out for you. I almost forgot, side of toast. Well, I'm gonna call this a happy stance with the eggs on top because I forgot to put them under the chili, because I think it makes better sense for making the yolk flow, and I think it looks better. But I gave the first one to hubby because that's the one that was corrected. As a home cook, that's what I always do. Give the bigger or better piece to people that I'm feeding. It's just part of, okay, that's a big bite, but I'm trying to get some of everything. Well, I was at one point worried about it being over-seasoned. That is not at all the case. No, in fact, they probably could use a little more of the hamburger meat. Could probably use some salt. It's definitely getting most of its flavor from the chili so far. And the greens of the green onion really add to it too. Okay, I will say that each bite is a little different, so because it depends on what you get in it. Let me try another one with some meat in it and see if I still feel that that seems under-seasoned. Not so much that bite because it had quite a bit of egg in it, so that gave it a lot of flavor. So it's just really, I don't know if the word complex, because whatever bite you take is, you can taste different. It's eclectic, that's what it is. Okay, well, that's pretty tasty. Honey, what do you think? Jared, what do you think?
I like it.
Thumbs up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you heard that. So what do we know about Missouri? Okay, it is a Midwestern state. I think we all know that. Known for its rich, diverse culture, including a rich history of blues and jazz music. Its capital is Jefferson City, and major cities include St. Louis and Kansas City. Key attractions include the Gateway Arch, the Missouri Botanical Gardens, and Silver Dollar City. People in Arkansas used to go to Silver Dollar City. I don't know if that's still, I guess it's still around. It's bordered by Iowa, Illinois, Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Nebraska. That's a lot. It's the 19th most populous state with over 6 million residents. Largest urban areas are St. Louis, Kansas City, Springfield, and Columbia. I've mostly been to Branson. The state is famous for its contributions to music, particularly blues and jazz. Popular attractions are, the Gateway Arch, but also the National World War I Museum and Memorial in Kansas City, and the Missouri Botanical Gardens. The Ozark Mountains in the south offer timber, minerals, and recreational opportunities. It's the 24th state, and its highest point is, I don't know how you say it, Taum, is Taum Salk Mountain. What are 5 interesting facts about Missouri? I like the 5 interesting facts. We already did the state capital. Oh, the original state capital was St. Charles. Let's see. I already know that. Famous things that have happened in Missouri. Academic Hall Fire, American Tent and Awning, Great St. Louis Fire, Ha Ha Tonka Fire. They seem to have a lot of fires. Ooh, the Hyatt Regency Skywalk collapse. I think I remember that. I think my camera's going to fall over. Not the camera, the tripod. What is a random fact about Missouri? It's home to more than 6,100 caves. In fact, Missouri is known as the cave state. Tours are offered at 23 caves. Missouri is called the Show Me State. That's just a nickname. It's not an official name. And there are a number of stories and legends behind why it's called that. Part of the 1803 Louisiana purchase by the United States, Missouri earned the nickname Gateway to the West because it served as a significant departure point. What have Missourians invented? Let's see what they invented. Public kindergarten, the ice cream cone, pancake mix, the mood ring, osteopathic medicine, 7-Up, monster trucks, and iced tea. Yeah, so that's what I know about Missouri. Let's have another bite before we draw next week. And in the comments below, tell me if you try this. It is hearty, but it doesn't, maybe if I ate the whole thing, I'd feel different, but with what I've eaten so far, it feels hearty. It is hearty, obviously, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. But you got to take a big bite in order to get some of everything. All right. Next stage, not too far away. Another Midwest, Indiana. I have no recollection of what Indiana had for food. But I'll see you next week when after I figure it out. Bye. Thanks for watching.